Rodrigo Duterte's presidency in the Philippines was marked by his aggressive war on drugs, a campaign that polarized the nation and drew international attention. While some citizens praised the policy for reducing crime and restoring order, others condemned it for its human rights violations and the thousands of lives lost to extrajudicial killings. The International Criminal Court, ICC, has since taken an interest in Duterte's actions, further intensifying the divide between his supporters and critics. This essay examines the roots of pro-Duterte and anti-Duterte sentiments, focusing on how personal experiences shape these views. It also explores the role of forensic psychologists and psychiatrists in analyzing these leanings, delves into the possibility of power shifts within the drug trade, and addresses the distrust in the Philippine justice system and the influence of external powers like China. By understanding these dynamics, we can better grasp the complexities of this issue and its implications for Philippine society. Supporters of Duterte often cite the perceived benefits of his war on drugs, particularly in terms of improved safety and reduced crime. These sentiments are rooted in both personal experiences and broader societal changes. In communities plagued by drug-related crimes, residents reported feeling safer after the campaign. For example, Barangay 176 in Caloocan City saw a significant drop in theft and burglary cases following the crackdown. Similarly, in Cebu City, local officials noted a decrease in gang-related violence. Supporters argue that Duterte's policies brought a sense of discipline and order to chaotic urban areas. In Davao City, Duterte's hometown, his strict governance was credited with transforming the city into one of the safest in the country. Residents of Tondo, Manila, echoed similar sentiments, citing reduced street-level drug dealing. Some businesses in high-crime areas experienced growth as safety improved. For instance, small shop owners in Pasay City reported increased foot traffic and sales after drug-related violence subsided. In addition, real estate values in previously unsafe neighborhoods began to rise. Many supporters believe that the ends justify the means, viewing the campaign as a necessary evil to protect future generations from the scourge of drugs. This sentiment was particularly strong among parents who feared for their children's safety. Families of drug users who refused rehabilitation often expressed relief when their loved ones were neutralized, believing it was the only way to end their suffering and protect the community. A mother in Quezon City shared how her neighborhood became peaceful after a known drug dealer's neutralized. We'll continue on part 2 of this video essay. A mother in Quezon City shared how her neighborhood became peaceful after a known drug dealer's neutralized. Families who lost relatives to extrajudicial killings often became vocal critics. For example, the family of Kian de los Santos, a 17-year-old student killed in a police operation, became a symbol of the campaign's excesses. Similarly, the death of Carl Arnaiz, another teenager, sparked outrage. Witnessing violent raids and killings left lasting scars on communities. In Payatas, Quezon City, residents reported increased anxiety and fear of law enforcement. Children in these areas often developed a fear of police officers. The campaign undermined trust in the justice system, as many felt that due process was abandoned in favor of swift, often arbitrary, actions. This sentiment was echoed by human rights organizations and legal experts. Human rights organizations like Amnesty International documented numerous cases of abuse, further fueling domestic opposition to Duterte's policies. The United Nations also expressed concern over the campaign's impact on human rights. Critics argue that the campaign dehumanized drug users, treating them as expendable rather than as individuals deserving of rehabilitation and support. Religious leaders and advocacy groups often voiced this perspective. There are rumors that existing and eliminated drug lords or groups are behind the anti-drug campaigns of the Duterte's past administration. Residents of formerly crime-ridden neighborhoods often supported the campaign, citing improved safety and quality of life. For example, a mother in Pasay City expressed gratitude for the reduced drug activity near her children's school. Similarly, a barangay captain in Cebu City praised the campaign for restoring peace to his community. Families who lost innocent relatives to the campaign often became its harshest critics. A father in Navotas, whose son was mistakenly killed during a raid, described the campaign as a war on the poor. Another family in Caloocan City shared how their breadwinner was killed despite having no involvement in drugs. Stories and images shared on social media amplified both support and criticism, shaping public opinion. Viral videos of police brutality fueled anti-Duterte sentiments, while testimonials from grateful residents bolstered support. In some areas, the collective experience of reduced crime created a shared sense of gratitude, while in others, the collective trauma of violent raids fostered resentment. These narratives often influenced local elections and community dynamics. Wealthier individuals, less directly affected by the campaign, often opposed it on moral grounds, while poorer communities, more directly impacted by drug-related crimes, were more likely to support it. This divide highlighted the campaign's disproportionate impact on marginalized groups. Forensic psychologists and psychiatrists play a vital role in understanding the psychological and emotional factors influencing pro- and anti-Duterte leanings. Specialists can study patterns of behavior and speech to identify underlying motivations and biases. For example, supporters may exhibit heightened fear of crime, while critics may show signs of trauma. By evaluating individuals affected by the campaign, forensic psychologists can assess the long-term psychological impact, such as PTSD or anxiety disorders. This is particularly relevant for children who witnessed violent raids. Specialists can conduct surveys and interviews to understand how collective experiences shape public opinion. For instance, they might analyze how a community's crime rate correlates with its support for Duterte. Forensic psychologists can examine how exposure to certain types of media content influences opinions, such as the impact of graphic images or emotionally charged narratives. Specialists must navigate ethical challenges, such as ensuring that their analyses do not further polarize communities or stigmatize individuals. The failure of the Philippine justice system has led many citizens to seek intervention from the ICC. This distrust stems from systemic issues and perceived corruption. Many government officials and law enforcement personnel accused of abuses during the drug war have faced little to no accountability, eroding public trust. Allegations of bribery and favoritism within the justice system have further fueled skepticism among ordinary citizens. Critics argue that the system disproportionately targets the poor while protecting powerful individuals with political connections. Mga mahihirap lang ang tinatarget mostly. Mga mahihirap lang ang tinatarget mostly. The slow pace of legal processes has left many victims feeling abandoned and hopeless. High-profile cases, such as the killing of Kian de los Santos and another one, drew distrust on our justice system. Totoong merong inequality kahit saan, kahit sa impyerno, meron din. Si Atan lang ang nasa ibabaw ng mga nakalubog, kaya less mainit.